On our wedding night, my husband had drunk a little too much, but he was still completely aware of what he was doing. He lifted me into his arms, kissed me passionately, and held me so tightly that my entire body trembled. He whispered that he loved me, that he had waited a long time for this moment, and that I was finally his wife. I truly believed it was the happiest night of my life. I had married a handsome man. I do not mean to boast, but my husband was 6 feet tall, attractive, charming, and very good with words. Whenever we appeared together, people told me I had chosen well. He was also extremely generous. During the year we dated, he never once allowed me to pay for a meal. He bought me flowers, handbags, and expensive gifts. He arranged our vacations and paid for all. My friends said I was lucky. They told me I had found the kind of husband every woman dreamed of having. Our wedding was extravagant. His family booked one of the largest wedding venues in the city. There were 40 banquet tables, a live band, a professional host, and warm golden lights illuminating the entire ballroom. My wedding dress had been custom-made. My parents sat at the main table with tears in their eyes, proud that their daughter had married such a successful and impressive man. I still remember the moment he placed the ring on my finger. My hand trembled as I thought that, after waiting for so long, I had finally found a safe place to belong. I finally had a man who was completely mine. After the reception ended, we returned to our new apartment. The place still smelt faintly of fresh paint. The bed was covered with red sheets and a bottle of wine stood on the table beside 2 glasses. After taking a shower, I put on the white silk nightdress I had carefully chosen for our wedding night. I was nervous and embarrassed, but also excited. Like many young women, I had imagined that night countless times. My husband had been drinking, but he was not out of control. He carried me to the bed and kissed me. He was passionate, affectionate, and impatient. He was passionate, affectionate, and impatient. He repeatedly told me that he loved me. He whispered that he had waited so long for this moment and that I was finally his wife. I melted into his arms. I felt happy, shy, and unbelievably fortunate. I believed I was the luckiest. Afterward, he held me tightly as we fell asleep. His arm remained wrapped around my waist as though he never wanted to let me go. I lay against his chest, listening to his heartbeat and smiling as I drifted to sleep. I was convinced that I had just begun the most beautiful chapter of my life. Near dawn, I woke with a painfully dry throat, probably because of the wine and the air conditioner. I sat up and reached for the glass of water on the bedside table. At that exact moment, my husband's phone, which was lying face down beside it, lit up. A message appeared on the screen. I did not need to unlock the phone to read it. The message said, "Are you asleep yet? I'm only allowing you to sleep with your wife tonight. Do not forget how much I miss you." My heart seemed to stop. For a moment, I thought I had misunderstood what I had read. I picked up the phone and looked at the sender's name. It was saved as Rebecca. I froze. Every trace of sleep disappeared instantly, and my hands became ice cold. I looked at my husband. He was still sleeping peacefully beside me, breathing evenly. His handsome face looked calm and innocent. Cruelly innocent. I had never searched his phone before because I trusted him completely. But at that moment, something inside me took control. With trembling hands, I carefully lifted his arm from beneath the blanket. I pressed his thumb against the fingerprint sensor. I knew who she was. Rebecca was the sales director at his company. I had met her once at a company dinner. She was exactly 10 years older than me. She was divorced and had an 8-year-old son. I even followed her on social media. I had liked photographs of her wearing elegant suits at business meetings. She always looked confident, sophisticated, and successful. Everyone at the company jokingly called her the boss, but in his conversations with her, my husband was a completely different man. I continued scrolling through their messages. He had written, "Please do not be angry." I had no choice but to marry her. My parents were putting too much pressure on me. "They would never accept you because you are older than me and have already been married." In another message, he wrote, "This girl is quiet and comes from a respectable family. I am marrying her so my parents will stop complaining. She can stay home, take care of the house, and look after them. My parents really like her." Then I found another message. "Please give me more time. This marriage is only for appearances. You are the only woman I love. Once she gets pregnant and gives my parents a grandchild, I will finally be free. Then I will move out and live with you, and everything will return to the way it was." The final message was the most devastating. "I have to sleep with her tonight. Do not be jealous. It is only for tonight. Tomorrow, I will come back to you. You are the woman I love most." I collapsed onto the floor beside our wedding bed. I had to bite my lip to stop myself from screaming. Tears poured down my face and soaked the white silk nightdress I had bought for what was supposed to be the happiest night of my life. So that was the truth. The expensive gifts, the romantic vacations, his generosity, his handsome smile, and even our enormous wedding had never truly been for me. The entire marriage was a performance. It had been designed to satisfy his parents and silence the people around him. He had chosen me because I was convenient. He wanted a respectable wife who would stay home, take care of the house, look after his parents, and give birth to their grandchild. Look at the romantic vacation. Meanwhile, he planned to continue seeing the woman he actually loved. What was I to him? Was I really nothing more than the housekeeper he had described in those messages? Was I only a woman he intended to use to produce a child for his parents? That was what hurt me most. He had not merely betrayed me with another woman. He had planned my entire future without ever seeing me as a human being with feelings, hopes, and dreams. To him, I was not a wife. I was a tool. I remembered all the times he came home late and claimed he had been working on a project with Rebecca. I remembered how he told me that she had lent him money for an investment and had helped him greatly in his career. I had even felt grateful to her. I had believed she was a kind and generous person. I had planned to invite her to our home for dinner after the wedding so I could thank her for supporting my husband. How could I have been so blind? I sat on the floor beside the wedding bed, shaking uncontrollably. The sheets were red, my nightdress was white, and there I was, curled up like a fool beside the man I had just married. Only a few hours earlier, he had held me and told me that he loved me. Now he was sleeping less than a few feet away while the woman he truly loved waited for him somewhere else. Perhaps he was even dreaming about her. I wanted to wake him. I wanted to wake him. I wanted to scream in his face and throw the phone at him, but I could not move. My throat felt completely blocked. More than anger, I felt humiliation. I was ashamed of myself for having been so happy. I was ashamed of how proudly I had told everyone that I was marrying a wonderful man. Outside the window, the sky was beginning to brighten. The sound of traffic slowly filled the streets. A new day was beginning. It was supposed to be my first day as a wife. How could the first morning of my marriage be so cruel? I did not know how I would face our parents, relatives, and friends in just a few hours. I did not know what to do with a marriage that had lasted only 8 hours. Should I divorce him? People would laugh at me. They would whisper that I had married one night and left my husband the next morning. But how could I stay? How could I remain in a marriage where I was expected to become a housekeeper and a machine for producing children while my husband continued loving another woman? I had no answer. All I could do was sit there, holding the glass of water I had never managed to drink, and cry. My white silk nightdress became soaked with tears. That was how my wedding night ended. It was also the moment I realized that my marriage had ended before our first morning as husband and wife had even begun.